Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Greetings and welcome to Refuge Depot, where we're going to be talking about the very serious threat that winter will impose upon us. And the reason why we want to sound this alarm is because, the winter that we're looking at going forward are not going to be the same winters as that we had in the past. With global warming, with the threat of antiquated infrastructure, with the threat of food banks closing, with the threat of FEMA being crippled by policies and procedures, it would behoove all of us to be as prepared as we possibly can. The Bible speaks about snow being used in the day of war. And so I want to read just this portion of the Fall of America by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad in what he writes about winter, and then we'll get right into our topic today. And so,
snow is of the most dreaded plague when it comes in great drifts from 5 to 35 feet. It buries your property and lives. It destroys your highways, your cities, and your concrete and gravel in towns and cities. It puts a great burden of expense upon the cities. It puts a great burden of expense upon the city to repair it. The cave-in of roofs of homes, the cutting off of homes, the cutting off of transportation, isolating areas, brings about starvation. And communication is destroyed with the icing of communication wires. Snow looks pretty because of its clean look. Almost everything of nature is beautiful, but it can be turned into death and destruction against man. Snow is prophesied to be one of the weapons that God will use against the wicked. America, Job 38:22-23. Hail also is mentioned in the same two verses, where God plainly tells us that he has preserved it against the time of trouble, against the day of the battle and war. The Holy Quran also teaches us that God used snow, rain, wind, hail, earthquakes, and fire against former wicked people. Is America any better than the people we read about in the history that God destroyed? No, she is not as good. These people were not as wicked as the American people. Last winter, over 200 million Americans were under winter weather alerts at the same time. Power grids failed, pipes burst, families were stranded. But here's the thing. It didn't have to be that way. I want to talk about something that could literally save your life this winter. I've just released my new book, Winter Ready, The Ultimate Guide to Winter Preparedness. And in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to share the most critical information from this guide that you need to know right now, because winter doesn't wait, and neither should you. The book opens with the parable of the wise and foolish builders. You probably know it. One builds on rock, one on sand. When the storm comes, only one house stands. But here's what most people miss. Both builders faced the same storm. The difference wasn't luck. It was preparation. Right now, you're building your winter survival strategy, either on solid rock or shifting sand. And with climate change making winter weather more unpredictable and extreme, the storms are only getting worse. So let me ask you, which builder are you? First, you need to understand what you're up against. Winter storms aren't just one thing. We're talking blizzards, ice storms, freezing rain, polar vortex events. And climate change isn't making winters warmer everywhere. It's making them more unpredictable. Your home is your fortress. Chapter 2 covers weatherization in detail, but here are the essentials. Your 48-hour weatherization checklist. Insulate your attic and walls.
Hey everybody, today we're demonstrating how insulation works. So here we got on the left we have fiberglass insulation, on the right we got some cellulose, and in the middle we have some spray foam. Now on bottom of this thing there's a heater, and it's And there's a compartment with air that's going into each one of them. And look what we have. Let's check out our results. Fiberglass insulation. It's 148 degrees over here using fiberglass. There's a ball on top, it's flying. So that tells us that, it talks for itself. No explanation needed. Then we got some cellulose. Cellulose over here, it's 100 degrees. As you can see right there. And the bowl is shaking. It does a job, not much. Look what we got going on over here. Spray foam. Oh, look at that beautiful temperature. 70 degrees. The bowl's not shaking, not moving. This is why you need spray foam.
Weather strip doors and windows. Those drafts can drop your indoor temp by 10 to 15 degrees. Winterize your plumbing. A single burst pipe causes an average of $5,000 in damage. Service your heating system. Now, not when it's 10 below zero. The book includes a complete checklist and links to weatherization grants that could cover hundreds or even thousands of dollars of these costs. Many people don't know these programs exist, but they're out there. Every winter, people die in their cars, not because they were in accidents, because they were stranded and unprepared. Chapter 3 covers complete vehicle winterization, but here's what needs to be in your car emergency kit before the first snowfall. Blankets and extra winter clothes, non-perishable food and water, flashlight and batteries, first aid kit, ice scraper and snow brush, jumper cables, sand or kitty litter for traction, emergency flares or reflectors. And here's the big one, winter tires. They're not just for snow. They're designed for any temperature below 45 degrees. The book explains exactly how to choose them and includes contact info for road condition updates. If you're trapped in your car, these items aren't luxuries. They're the difference between survival and tragedy. Here's something most preparedness guides ignore. You are your most important survival tool. Winter depression is real. Seasonal affective disorder affects millions. Chapter 4 covers physical and mental preparedness, staying fit when you can't go outside, recognizing cold-related illnesses like hypothermia and frostbite before they become critical, and maintaining mental health during the dark months. The book includes resources for local fitness classes and mental health support because being prepared isn't just about stuff, it's about being mentally and physically ready. Chapter 5 dives deep into survival items and gear. I'm talking about building a legitimate home winter survival kit, choosing the right outdoor clothing layers, selecting proper snow removal tools, and emergency communication devices for when cell towers go down. The book recommends specific brands and retailers, no affiliate links, just honest recommendations based on real-world performance. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, power grid failure. Texas, 2021. Over 4.5 million homes without power, some for nearly a week. In sub-freezing temperatures, people died in their homes. Chapter 6 covers power outage preparedness in exhaustive detail because this is where most people are completely vulnerable. Critical power outage prep. Backup generators, but only if you know how to use them safely. Carbon monoxide poisoning kills during outages. Alternative heating options that don't require electricity. Alternative lighting beyond flashlights. Food safety protocols. Your fridge becomes a cooler, not a storage unit. The book includes contact information for local utility providers and outage update resources so you know what's happening and when power might return. Here's the reality. Our power grid is aging, climate events are increasing, and the possibility of extended outages is higher than ever. You need to be ready for 72 hours minimum without power. The book shows you exactly how. Winter damage is expensive. Chapter 7 covers insurance considerations most people never think about. Do you know what your homeowner's or renter's insurance actually covers? Ice dams, burst pipes, roof collapse from snow load. Many people find out after disaster strikes that they're not covered. The book breaks down additional insurance options for winter-specific risks, how to file claims effectively, and tips for reducing premiums. It includes contact info for insurance providers and agents. Chapter 8 is all about community resources. You're not alone in this. There are local emergency management agencies, national organizations specializing in winter preparedness, and online communities where people share real experiences. The book provides comprehensive contact information and websites because knowing who to call before an emergency happens is crucial. Most winter prep focuses on sheltering in place, but what if you can't stay? Chapter 9 covers emergency planning and evacuation for severe winter weather events. Your family needs a written emergency plan everyone knows, evacuation strategies for different scenarios, knowledge of shelter options during extreme cold, pre-planned evacuation routes, packed go bags ready at all times. The book includes contact information for emergency management agencies and shelters in various regions, plus transportation resources for when roads are dangerous. Here's what people forget. The decision to evacuate needs to be made before conditions become life-threatening. Once that blizzard hits, you're trapped. The time to plan your evacuation is right now, in comfortable conditions, with clear thinking. Chapter 10 brings it all home with final tips and the core message. Winter preparedness isn't paranoia, it's responsibility. Here's why being prepared for a rough winter is more crucial now than ever. 1. Climate unpredictability is increasing. Weather patterns our grandparents relied on no longer apply. 2. Infrastructure is aging. Power grids, water systems, roads, they're all under strain. 3. Supply chains are vulnerable. Recent years proved that things we took for granted can vanish overnight. 4. Extreme weather is normalizing. Once-in-a-century storms are happening every few years. The book emphasizes that winter preparedness isn't a one-time task. It's an ongoing effort. Every season requires reassessment, restocking, and renewal of your plans.
Look, I could keep going. The book is comprehensive, 10 full chapters, detailed appendix, real-world advice from someone who's lived through serious winter emergencies. Winter Ready, your ultimate guide to winter preparedness, is available now in paperback. The link is in the description below. Winter is coming. The question is, will you be ready? Don't be the foolish builder. Don't be the grasshopper. Get your copy today and let's build your winter preparedness on solid ground. Stay safe, brothers and sisters. And remember, preparation today prevents tragedy tomorrow. Thank you all for watching. May God continue to bless you and your family with the light of truth and understanding. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you.